Hi there and welcome to 1000 English Grammar Test Practice Questions with Next Gen English. These are of course present simple tense questions, and these are questions 21 to 40 in our 1000 question series. And of course what you should do before watching this video is scroll down, take the test yourself, press that button and see what score you can get. So pause the video now if you haven't taken the test already and do that. Of course, if you're not on nextgenenglish.com, look for the link to the page in the description of this video. Okay, welcome back if you have just taken the test. Let's get on to the first question. All right, so question 1 in 21 to 40 is, these online tests something easy. So is it isn't, am not, aren't, or can't? Of course, remember these are present simple tense questions. So the structure for present simple is naturally subject plus verb 1. So all of our sentences today or in this test should follow this structure: subject, verb 1, and these of course they have to match. The subject will have to go with the verb, especially if we're using the verb to be. If that's the main verb, then the subject will have to go with it, of course. So these online tests, what's the subject here? These online tests is naturally the subject. And do we have a verb? Oh, well, we don't have a verb, so what we do have here is an adjective, easy. So we know we should be looking for the verb that goes with these online tests. So these online tests could be replaced by they, because it's a group. So we need something that goes with they. So they isn't, we know it's not they isn't, or they am. Am would have to go with I, of course. Isn't goes with he, she, or it. So is it aren't? Well, that works. Let's just check if this works. Well, of course, can't is a helping verb, so we would need another main verb to use can't, and we don't have one. So, of course, the answer is these online tests aren't easy. Okay, let's move on to the next question then. So the next question is, I always something to get out of bed as soon as I hear my alarm. Is it trying, tries, try, or to try? All right, these are maybe the easier questions, of course. So, of course, trying, we've got ing, so we would need be to go with that, and that would be a present continuous sentence. And of course, we're doing present simple, which is subject verb 1. So we know we can rule that out. We don't have be anyway. It would be, I am always trying to get out of bed, which there is no be, so we know it's not that. So tries or try or to try, these are all verb 1 but in different forms. Of course, tries, we have this s here, which means the subject would have to be he or she or it, which it's not. Of course, the subject here is I, so we know it's not tries. I tries, it doesn't work. So try or to try. Of course, to try, this is the full infinitive, so this would have to come after a main verb in the sentence. And of course, we don't have a main verb here, so naturally this should be try. I always try to get out of bed as soon as I hear my alarm. So question number 3, the postman something deliver the mail when it's raining. So is it didn't, isn't, doesn't, or aren't? Okay, so the postman deliver the mail. So here, this is slightly different. We've got the main verb here, and we've got the subject. Okay, so we know the subject is a he, and we know that this main verb, well, it's an action verb to deliver something. So we need something that's going to go with this. Of course, we know, well, the postman didn't deliver. That could work. The postman didn't deliver the mail, but of course, didn't is past tense, and this is, of course, verb 2. And we're looking for verb 1, subject plus verb 1 is present simple, not verb 2. So we know it's not going to be didn't. This wouldn't work anyway. The postman didn't deliver the mail when it's raining. This clause here, of course, letting us know that we're talking about a routine. We're using the present simple, so this should be present simple as well. So isn't, we don't use be with a main verb, of course. So it's not going to be that, and aren't is the same. So of course the answer is doesn't. The postman doesn't deliver the mail when it's raining. Question 4, we don't something by train because we prefer to walk. Traveling, travel, traveled, or travels. Okay, so here we've got the subject is we, and of course this should be the verb. The main verb goes here. So we've got different forms, like we said about traveling. This is ing. So ing, it has to go with be. We don't have be here. We are. There's no we are. So that we're not going to use that. We don't travel. Okay, could be that. Traveled is of course verb 2, which is past, and travels. It's not travels because travels, of course, we've got this s here, which lets us know that it's third person singular, which again should be he, she, or it, which the subject is, of course, we. So, of course, the answer is we don't travel by train because we prefer to walk. The new manager wants us something car sharing. To start, to starts, to starting, or start to. So the kind of strategy that we're using should be getting quite familiar now. We again, don't forget, we're looking for subject, verb 1, subject plus verb 1. So, the answer should always be verb 1. So no ing here. So these are all similar. So again, this S lets us know that the subject should be, well, actually, this should be a full infinitive. Here we're looking at to, and then the base verb. So this is a full infinitive, of course. And don't forget that we never have this. So this is actually not correct. You wouldn't see this form in a sentence. You wouldn't say this to starts, not with the S. When we're using to, then we must have the base form of the verb. So this is not correct. So to start or start to, of course, we've got the main verb here. This is the main verb here. This is the subject. Wants, of course, goes with that. So this should be the purpose or the reason for wanting, or this is an explanation of this. So wants us start to. So this should be, of course, the full infinitive goes here. So to start and not start to. So lunch, something from 12 until 1 is time, hour, or eats. Okay, so this it might look a bit strange at first. We've got lunch is, so it could be lunch is. Yeah, that works from 12 until 1. Lunch time. Okay, so lunch time is, of course, this is a noun. Lunchtime, it goes together, but does it work? Well, lunch hour is, of course, a correct phrase, or has a correct meaning. And lunch eats, we know it's not lunch eats because lunch doesn't eat anything, does it? We eat lunch. But here, if we use lunchtime, that would be the subject, of course, but then we don't have a verb. We don't have a main verb. So time is not a verb. Hour is not a verb. Of course, is. Lunch is from 12 until 1. We need that verb in the sentence. So please, something, another 2 cups of tea. Is it makes, drinking, make, or drank? All right, so here, this is, of course, an imperative. So we're telling somebody or a group of people to do something. So, of course, the subject here is, we don't see it, but of course, the subject is you. So you, something. It's not he, she, or it, so it can't be makes. Again, we don't want ing. We don't want the past verb to. So, of course, you make please make another 2 cups of tea. 2 sugars, please. How something you like your job. Is it how are, how have, how do, or how is? Okay, so of course here, this is a question, but what we need to know is it a be question or a do question? It's not going to be a have question. This maybe we'd be looking at a present perfect sentence, but we want present simple subject verb 1. So is it a be question or is it a do question? Of course, how are you like? How are you like? It could be correct in some sentences or in some contexts, but here we've got your job. So we're looking at like as the main verb here. So we're asking about this, of course. So we need to know, of course, not how, it's not a description, it's a verb. So how do you like your job? Okay, so question 9. It's important something a good line manager. So is it that to you, to work, having, or to have? All right, here, so we've already got the subject. It's a dummy subject, it, and then we've got a verb here. We've got this adjective is, of course, describing it with our dummy subject. So here, what we need is we need a main verb here. So that you is not our main verb. So again, we don't want having because we're looking at the present simple. So to work something, of course, this is not transitive, and we've got this information here. We need a transitive verb to go in here, which is, of course, have is. So it's important to have what? A good line manager. I start work at 9 and something at 5 o'clock. Finish, is it finish, begin, finishes, or stops? Okay, here, so the subject is I. And we've got 2 answers here with this S. So when we see this, we know that the subject, of course, has to be a he, a she, or an it. And of course it's not, so we can rule these out. So this is just a question of meaning. So I start at 9 and finish at 5, or I start at 9 and begin at 5. Of course, start and begin. How can you start and begin at the same time, at different times? So this meaning is not correct. So of course, the answer is finish. Question 11, the local children's something very good schools. Is it goes to, learning at, go to, or study to? Again, we've got the ing here. So present simple. This one is not present simple, so it could be goes to. But if we look at the subject, the local children is a they. And this S only goes with he, she in it, so it's not goes to. So go to or study to. Here, study, this to, if we use this, we're going to need another verb after that. So study, we need a reason, study to go to very good schools or something. So of course, go to is the correct answer. My neighborhood always something of barbecues in the summer. Smells, cooks, tastes, or makes. This one is more understanding the meaning. Of course, my neighborhood, the subject being an it. Always what are barbecues in the summer? Does it smell of barbecues? Does it cooks? Well, cook of course, doesn't collocate, doesn't go together. You don't cook of something. So we know it's not this. Make of doesn't go together either. So it either smells of or tastes of. Of course, it probably wouldn't be a good idea to taste your neighborhood. So you could say it tastes of neighborhood, but oh, sorry, of barbecues, but it's the meaning is of course a bit silly. Their tastes of barbecues. You don't eat your neighborhood, you eat the barbecue. So of course it smells. 13, I to my cousin anymore. So didn't speak, not speaking, don't speak, or still speak. Didn't speak, of course this is past tense, so again we're looking at present simple, so it's not this. Not speaking, again we've got the ing, so this is not present simple. So it's either don't speak or still speak. Of course, anymore, we know that this adverb lets us know that we should be doing something negative. We should be saying something negative here. So still speak is well, affirmative, isn't it? So don't speak, again, is the correct answer. We something tennis every day. So is it are playing, wants to play, try to play, or doesn't play? Are playing, we are playing tennis. This, of course, would be present continuous, but every day lets us know that, again, we should be using the present simple, so they don't go together. Wants to play, again, this S should be with he, she, or it. So we know it's not wants to play because the subject here is we. Try to play, yeah, that works. Let's just check D. Doesn't play, we doesn't play, of course. Doesn't, we've got this S again, so we know that this should go with he, she, or it. So try to play is, of course, the correct answer. So can you give me some advice, an advice, advices, or any advices? This one should be quite straightforward. If you know that advice is actually uncountable. So if it's uncountable, then we wouldn't use an, and we wouldn't, of course, use a plural S. So that rules out all of these. An advice, you don't one advice, two advices. Of course, advice like sugar and water is uncountable, an uncountable noun, so it should be some advice. I something a diet, I am in a diet, I going on a diet, I am on a diet, or I am eating a diet. This one may be a bit more difficult. It's a case of knowing the phrase. If you know the phrase, I suppose it's quite simple, but otherwise we can kind of narrow it down to two more logical answers. So of course, am eating, we've got this ing, which goes with the present continuous, and this is all of these questions are present simple, so we know it's not that. And of course we've got the ing here, or going, so this should be going, am going on, would be correct, but we don't have be here, so it's either am on or am in. And maybe a bit more difficult, you should know the phrase, but yeah, it's I am on a diet. Okay, Elisabetta is, oh, there's no is. Elisabetta English online, studies, study is study or studying. So, of course, Elisabetta is a she. Our subject is she. So our verb here should have the S, so of course study, so I suppose we know it's this. So no study or is study or studying. Should be quite simple, that one. Chickens, something fly. Doesn't, is it doesn't, aren't, does, or don't? Of course, here this S lets us know that, well, should go with he, she, or it. So chickens, of course, is a plural, so it's they, not he, she, or it, our subject. So it's not doesn't, and it's not does either. So it's either aren't or don't. This, okay, there are possibly in some maybe more regional dialects in certain parts of America, fly is an adjective. However, for most parts of the world, of course, fly is a verb. And in this case, we're of course looking at it as a verb. So if it was an adjective, this would be correct in certain, maybe in certain inner city areas. Chickens aren't fly. However, the main and maybe more common meaning should be don't. So chickens don't fly, with fly being the main verb in the sentence. Okay, Hawaii is beautiful, but something very far away. Is it she's, he's, it's, or its? Okay, so we've got two its here. Of course, Hawaii, our subject, is, to make it easy, is an it. It's not a he or a she, so we can rule them out straight away, or we should be able to rule them out straight away. So, of course, this it is possessive. That means something belongs to it, so that doesn't make sense. But it's, we would need a noun to come after this and let us know what it owns. Hawaii, but it doesn't really own anything. So it's, of course, it is. Hawaii is beautiful, but it is, or it's, very far away. So the final question, question 20. Don't count before they hatch. Is it your chickens, your chickens, your chickens, or your chickens? Okay, so here we've got the same two words in sound. However, in spelling, they are different. Or grammatically, should I say, they are different. And of course, the difference between them is this apostrophe, which is either there or not there in different locations. So this would be, don't count, you are chickens. And of course, that's not correct. You are chickens. Doesn't make sense in this case. Your chickens, this is possessive again. A group of things, something that belongs to a group of things. And we don't have anything, any noun that could go here. So don't count your chickens' feathers before they hatch. Might make sense, but we don't have feathers here or any similar word, so it's not that. And this, of course, the same idea. This is possessive. Your chickens, but for one chicken. Of course, don't count your chickens before they hatch. A famous phrase in English, which means, of course, don't get too excited about something that you've invested in before it actually happens, or don't spend your money before you've got it in your hand, basically. So that's it then. Those are all of those questions answered. Of course, you can scroll down the page again and take the test again, or refresh the page on nextgenenglish.com. Take the test again and see if you can get 20 out of 20 this time. Get those 5 stars. And feel free to share this test with anyone else you know who might be interested in it. And of course, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and leave a comment as well. Let me know, or let us know, how many you got out of 20 the first time and the second time. So thanks for watching. See ya.